Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom. I'm a full-time eBay reseller and a stay-at-home dad for my 6 children. It's weird. Several YouTubers, like prominent YouTubers, have talked recently about the idea of full-time reseller and whether or not they are a full-time reseller. Like Ryan Roots and Kevin Commonwealth Picker, who are both way bigger at this than I am. And so I wanted to address that really quick because, like, I call myself a full-time reseller because it's my job, because it's the job that I do. Whether or not I make a traditional full-time income as a reseller, whether or not it's the only source of income, it is my job. I make money on YouTube a little bit. I guess to me, I don't have another job and I put in a lot of hours on selling. So that's why I call myself a full-time reseller. But like these guys are like, well, I make money on YouTube and I have real estate investments. And so it's not all 100% of my income. So I don't know that it's necessarily fair to call myself full-time. And then like more along somebody who's the same level, it's not a competition, but like Drew, Tip of the Mitt Flips is not like hiring a bunch of help and getting the bulk of his income from like YouTube AdSense or sponsored videos and that kind of thing. So I consider myself full-time because it is my only job and I make the amount of money that I would make at a part-time job if I was making a good wage at a job where I only work 25 hours a week. But the reality is I don't have another job, so this is my only gig. And I thought a bunch of people talk about that this week, and so I thought I would address it too. I call myself full-time because it's the only job that I have. My wife has a job. She makes decent. She's a public high school teacher, so it's not like she's a CEO and I'm living off of her wealth. That job has health benefits, which is great. We got a bunch of sales, not great sales, but a bunch to pull. And then I've got a bunch of things that I'm trying to get listed because I need to be listing a bunch in order to get a bunch sold. And we are a bunch behind for the month of March. And I think everybody is. I heard that there was an update to the website. I didn't see anything significant change, but hopefully we're over that update and things start to get back to normal. But anyway, let me get so this is my pile of, like, this is a tote that I'm using from the eBay store buyout that is stuff that didn't come from that, but I'm just repurposing that tote. This is eBay store buyout stuff. This is eBay store buyout stuff. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking pictures either in the picture box or with this backdrop on the table and then putting it back in that box. And I'm always taking the tag off the front and putting the stuff up there. I'm putting that tag in one of the pictures and then refilling that box so that it is inventoried that way. Incidentally, these things sold that are right here on top of this box, they are like, you put them in your grill, I guess, and they give you a mesquite smoke flavor. I could not find comps on, especially the mesquite. There was some kind of comp for classic oak, but there were none sold. So I marked these for 20 bucks, free shipping, and they sold in a couple hours. And we'll move those over to the tote on the shipping table. And when I get everything pulled, then I'll ship that stuff. This seemed to be oil paints. It's older, it's used, and I've never heard of that brand, but like oil paints that come in a metal container are not cheap. So when I found this for $1.84 at Goodwill, I was like, I'm going to give that a shot. And it sold for $19 free shipping after quite some time. I paid 50 cents a piece for these couple of Blondie 8-track cassettes. I sell them untested because I am not going to put them in an 8-track player and have them bust. And a lot of the time, the real collectors on these rebuild them anyway. And they sold for $14.50 free shipping. This is the strainer and the blade out of a Jack LaLanne juicer, and they're the last pieces that always sell, and sold for $7 plus shipping. Almost not even worth doing, but you buy the juicer, it comes in there, it will sell, so you might as well list it. And if you pick the juicer up for $7-8, there's a lot of juice worth the squeeze, if you know what I mean. And so you don't, you might as well list those junk parts and let them sell eventually. These are expensive if you needed to buy them programmed for your car, but I got them for $1 a piece. I don't know if they work. I don't know if the batteries are corroded inside of them. I don't know how hard it is to get the key inside here replaced. Like, maybe you don't know this. Like, inside both of these, there is an actual, there's an actual key inside here, and inside here, there's a key. Now that has to also match your car, so this would have to be replaced for somebody to use this for their car. I mean, if they ever wanted to use the physical key, most people don't have to that have one of these things. But so I didn't want to wait forever for somebody who, and this one is like messed up. Like, it should set all the way in there and it just doesn't. So the spring's messed up. They're not in great shape. They're in unknown or working order. So I listed them for 30 bucks and they sold in an hour. I always buy these Spice Girls when I find them. I picked this one up for $6 on Whatnot, and it sold for $30 free shipping. I probably didn't pay much on shipping on the Whatnot thing either. If you watched my most recent video, I talked about how Whatnot really does a good job of doing combined shipping on auction orders. This Guns N' Roses pin sold for $5 plus shipping. I think it's vintage. I know that I got it. I had it listed for 10 bucks for a long time. And I know I didn't pay much for it. Like, I think I paid $6 for like a bag of random pins, and that was one that was in it from a seller on Whatnot that I used to follow, and I don't think she's on there much anymore. This Bose Bluetooth speaker would be worth between $70 and $90, but I couldn't get it to take a charge, so I sold it for parts not working for $40. And I had an offer for $20, and I came back at $32, and they came back at $24, and I ignored that, and it sold within an hour of that $24 offer for full price. And we're over here in the best inventory box in the business to pick up this Walt Disney World vintage painter's hat. I bought 2 of these. I think I paid $15 for both. One of them already sold, and this one sold for $10.80 plus shipping. Paid $9 for a random flat of stuff at the auction. I only had 2 items worth selling in it. This one, which is a micrometer, and it's not in great shape, but it would still do the job, sold for $20 free shipping. And then there's bear glasses that I'm trying to get 40 bucks for, but we'll see what they actually sell for. These we paid $2 a set for, and so we're 6 bucks in. They sold for $35 free shipping, and I got the old "what size are these" question like 45 times, and I don't know. They have markings on them. I put them up against a measuring tape. I don't know what size they are. I don't know how they're sized. I don't know how adjustable they are. It isn't like they're not worth enough to spend a whole bunch of time researching, so I put them out there for reasonably cheap, and I let the person who was buying them make a determination. Probably they went to somebody who sells a lot of shoes, and they're going to put them in a set of shoes that they fit in, rather than trying to buy a pair that is going to fit your shoes as a collector or as a person who wants to preserve their dress shoes. Lotting them together, I assumed that they would go to some type of a dealer instead of to an individual buyer who wants them to be the end user. This is a Ronda Rousey shirt I picked up a number of years ago at Goodwill, probably at the point where it would have been $2 or $3. Men's XL. I would have thought, because she was really famous then, I would have thought it would have done well. Sold for $8 plus shipping. This thing I got for 50 cents at a garage sale. It's a some kind of like world clock travel organizer from the 90s. $11 free shipping. Blockbuster book sold for $11.99 free shipping. Just a cool thing. Would have come from the 40 cents a piece books that I got at Spoon River Drive. Speaking of spoons, these I got on Whatnot, and I paid a little bit for them, like $5 or $6. They're new old stock, and they're Corningware, Spice of Life, really popular mushroom motif right now. Sold for $18 plus shipping. And this Columbia PFG large shirt, I would have paid $2.50 at Helping Hand, and sold for $14.50 free shipping. So not a great pickup there. And then in R, we should have this caterpillar hat that people describe as shark tooth, but that is not shark tooth. Strap back Katie brand, which I had not heard of. Pretty cool hat, 1995, 96. I got it in the buyout from the storage unit. Sold for $14 free shipping. And then down here in SS, same storage unit buyout. And everything from the storage unit buyout stuff was $1 a piece. Essentially, there's a new old stock headlamp in here. Let me find it. Duh, it was right in front of my face. That sold for $19 free shipping. These St. Jude pins, there's like 4 of them. They don't sell for much. I felt like it was appropriate to do 10% to St. Jude on this. And so we, these sold for $9 free shipping, and 90 cents went to St. Jude. Paid $5 for a box full of landline phone parts. This one, these 2 things were new, unused. And so I pulled them out and listed them separately. The used parts sold already, super cheap, and these sold for $15 free shipping, which is also super cheap. But like when I paid $5 and I made 30 net and probably 15 or 16 gross after the 2 different lots sold, it's worth doing. And then this here Nintendo 64. I paid $30 for this on Whatnot, and it was just the machine, and it was a filthy, gross mess, and the power cord, and it was untested. I added this third-party cable and this third-party controller, and it sold for $60 plus shipping. And that's everything that sold this weekend up to mid-morning on Sunday. I'm going to try to get a bunch of pictures taken so I can list this afternoon.